Hello friends, my name's James, and this is my 1965 Albert 30 sloop SV Trita. I have been slowly sailing around the world since leaving Los Angeles in 2021. Since that time, I've covered more than 17,000 nautical miles, from the Hawaiian Islands to French Polynesia, New Zealand to Australia, and more. I crossed the largest ocean on the planet solo. Join me as I continue my way through Southeast Asia, exploring its jungles, seeing its wildlife, and experiencing cultures far different from my own. This is the magic of seeing the world by sail. Good morning from the Kumai River. It's time to finish up the last little bit of chores, haul up, and head out. The plan is to go ashore right now, get 2 more jerry jugs of water, maybe get some petrol, and buy some eggs and a couple of supplies if I see. The shops here are very limited, but definitely they have eggs ashore. So main thing is we need water, and then if I can get petrol, I'll get petrol. Then we come back, and as soon as the tide switches, which is around 9:30 to 10, then we'll have the current with us, and we will head out and head downriver. I think it's 11 miles to the anchorage that we stayed at for a few days, which is really peaceful, nice anchorage. So relieved to be cleared out. I slept really hard last night. I think the stress of all that stuff had just kind of wiped me out. And then I got to have that amazing river experience yesterday with the orangutans. But man, I crashed so hard last night. And I feel pretty peaceful, but I'll feel even more peaceful once I get away from all this and out of eyesight of the authorities who cleared me out. Legally, I have until 10 a.m. today, so I'm not doing anything wrong right now, but time to haul up and start our transit through Indonesia to Singapore. So, let's head ashore. I'll show you what it's like to get water. We're going to try to get rid of the rubbish as well. And yeah, get it knocked out. Sometimes it's very hard to film chores like that in real time by myself, especially because there's like the language barrier, so a lot of people don't speak English, and I don't want to just film without knowing if they're okay with it. So, but I just went ashore, got my water, which was 12,000 IDR, and then I got a jerry can of petrol, so like I think it's a 2-gallon jerry can of petrol full, which was 105,000 IDR, which is like $6 bucks or something. I got eggs, a lot of eggs, and I got 5 liters of diesel oil for the diesel engine, which is good. I have some on board, but I always like to keep more than enough stock of oil on the boat. So, and I got rid of the rubbish. So, leaving the port of Kumai, and time to head downriver. First, I want to show you guys this crazy bird's nest factories. I just discovered that this is what they were yesterday on my tour. These giant cement buildings with tons of holes in the wall and slots, and they play these recordings at swallow calls to attract this specific swallow. So the swallows make their nest out of their saliva, and they make birds' nest soup out of their nests. So they have these giant cement buildings. I wish I could have gone inside one to see how it's all set up inside. But it's crazy. I kept hearing the calls everywhere, like the recordings, and I was like, once I got ashore and realized they were recordings, I was like, oh, like in the States, if you play like bird sounds, it's like you play like birds of prey to scare birds away. But this is the opposite. They're playing a recording to attract the birds, and if the birds are happy with the spot, then they keep going there to build their nests, and then they take the nests, sell it for bird's nest soup, which I'm not trying to eat like soup with like from a bird's nest with poop and pee and bird saliva. That's not my jam, but some people like it, I guess. But check out, these factories are just all along the waterfront, and it's such an interesting thing. All right, well, now it's time to get back through the river of rubbish and to the boat and get ready to get on our way. Okay, the tide has gone slack. We're starting to slowly turn. So now it's time to get underway. Been having a lot of problems with the engine. I haven't run it in a few days, so we'll see how hard it is to start. Fingers crossed all goes smooth. But I'm gonna pop everything open, check the oil, and then check the coolant again, and see how hard she is to start. Also I think the O-rings on my dipstick are worn out and it's not seating properly, so the dipstick's been popping out. Got starter fluid here just in case. Go ahead and done this enough times and had problems that I'll pop off the air breather. All right, here we go. Such a bummer. Ooh, I'm out of shape. Still no working autopilot, but I might be able to Frankenstein my pieces from each of the ones I have together to get one working. Got the head sole out, little advantage. Doing like 4.7. Tide hasn't fully turned, so we don't have the full river current with us yet, but it's only a, like I said, a 10-mile passage, so not too terribly far to go anyway. Beautiful out. It had said for like days there was going to be thunderstorms today. So if there are some, it doesn't show in the local forecast that there's going to be any, but if there are, hopefully they wait till this afternoon. That'd be nice. But I was kind of bummed because I thought it was going to be in rain all day again. So far so good. Beautiful out. Hauling up the anchor. Whoop my ass. That's what happens when you take 6 months off your regular physical routine of hauling up by hand. And I only had to haul up 125 feet of chain. It was like nothing. So I'm in for a rough Trita CrossFit session of getting back in shape. But tonight's anchorage is only like 10 feet deep, so I'll survive it. Happy to be on the move. Spoke too soon on the avoiding thunderstorms earlier when I was hauling up. Oh boy. Okay, we're here. We have 7 feet under the keel. We got down to like 5.9 feet under the keel. Just kind of creeping up to our spot. Drop the hook. One of today's chores is to try to get one of these autopilots working. This one died on me off the coast of Java. Had to hand steer for like 17 hours and then set in anchorage for a few days, and I managed to get this old one working, which on the back says DED. So this one used to be dead, and I changed the belts and cleaned the circuit board and checked some connections and got this one working back then. Well, the big gnarly weather that I sailed through from the Cape at Borneo to this anchorage when I first arrived, crazy rain all day. It had a rain jacket on, but these things are not waterproof. I even had a plastic bag over it and everything, but I think water finds its way in through this piston. And I had learned my lesson in the past, so I made sure to like not turn this thing upside down. Like I kept it upright in case there was water in it, and I set it up and kept it flat, thinking that if there was water, it would stay off the circuit board. But then when I went to motor up the river last week from this anchorage, it wouldn't work. It was like glitching out. Wouldn't work at all. So I lashed the helm, drove upriver, got there, took it apart, and found that there was tons of water inside on the circuit board, on the little gyro compass down below. So I left it out in the sun to let it, everything dry out. And then I tried to plug it back in. It didn't work. And then I took the whole plug out to test it with my voltmeter to make sure that the plug was actually getting power. It was. So then I plugged this one in, or I touched the power to this one, and this one powers up and everything. And I think what I recall is that the RAM on this one is broken. I think that's what's happening with this one. So what I'm going to try to do right now is open this one up and take the circuit board from this one and put it on this one, because I know this RAM and everything works good. And we'll see if that does us correct. If not, I don't know what else to do. But when I pull this circuit board off, maybe I can look and see if there's anything obvious on the back of the circuit board. But the plan is to try to switch to Frankenstein these two together and get something working. Because it'll be a bummer to have to not have an electronic autopilot. I use the wind vane whenever there's wind, but when there's no wind, you don't have that option. And being solo, you can't just steer constantly 24 hours a day. So let's get into it. Let's see if we can fix it. Just got this one unscrewed. This one I'm taking off, that powered up okay. Looks like it has water residue on it too. It's pretty clean. I don't see any corrosion or anything, so set that in there very gently. I think we can put this one aside for a second. We might have to pull out that gyro compass if this one seems toasted. But for now, we're just going to leave it. Leave it in there. It'd be easy enough to take this back off and switch out the gyro compass if we have to. So hard to do this without breaking something. Crazy. It's like film. This thing is like film instead of wires. Super spooky. It's Crazy, this circuit board looks fine. I don't see any kind of hot. Oh, that kind of looks messed up there, but now I'll just put it back on the way it was. I'll just throw a couple screws on and run a wire from power to C if it fires up. All right, let's go out in the cockpit and check it. Oh, that's good. We'll see. We won't really know till we go to drive out here and test it the day we're leaving, which is supposed to be in 2 days. So, but I mean, looks pretty promising so far. I definitely remember the other one. It sounded, I think the RAM thing was broken. So, hopefully that's Frankenstein works and gets us set up and taken care of. If you enjoy the content on this channel and would like to contribute, you can consider joining the Patreon crew. Thanks for watching. Fair winds until next time.